This is live emergency coverage on a life-threatening tornado on the ground and Florida. Right now, we're going to be live for at least 1 hour to track the tornado and afterwards give live updates on the damage and give you real-time information. We are currently tracking a tornado that is likely carved through a major subdivision in northeastern Florida. This is the tornado right here. You can see debris tracker on your left, velocity on the right. Now, as you can see, we talked about it once before, but where you see those drops into the blues, that's where your debris would be. I'm gonna play this radar back to show you where this tornado has been going, and as you can see, I'm gonna go ahead and play this for a few more and show you satellite. And unfortunately, it looks like it did carve through a subdivision. And then we're going to be tracking this into South Point Vendra Beach at some point. I also do see another a town of some kind here in the path. So if you're in that, you need to seek shelter immediately, as this is a particularly dangerous situation that has been issued for northeastern Florida. This just crossed the interstate, apparently, according to someone. But we're gonna be live for quite a while, for at least an hour. I'm gonna go ahead and get some stuff set up here.
Hello.
So we're gonna get some stuff set up here. Right here. I don't know if we're live at this current time. It doesn't say we are. Okay, so right now we're still tracking this. We're still tracking this tornado. It just crossed the interstate, and is now approaching what appears to be a small town of some kind. So if you're in that small town over there, or in South Point Vendra Beach, you need to seek shelter immediately, as a tornado has been confirmed on the ground, and it looks like it might have been a pretty powerful one too. If you're on the highway there, you need to pull off the highway immediately. Right now I'm currently checking out how high the debris went, and apparently the debris has traveled nearly 10,000 feet in the air, which does suggest a pretty strong tornado. Fortunately, I can't really share that because it pops up in a separate window. But yeah, we do have signatures of a pretty strong tornado that has occurred tonight. Occurred this morning. So yeah, I'm looking at the debris height, and it looks like it's going up to 10,000 feet. So right now we're going to be tracking this dangerous situation here, And we'll give you, even after this tornado dissipates, we're going to be live on the air to give you updates from on the ground, because it looks like it did carve through a major subdivision. This is now approaching the highway here. I mean, I didn't want to do that there. Okay. So now approaching the highway. The debris signature seems to be dissipating a bit, but regardless, you should still seek shelter immediately. All this stuff to the north up here, that is debris fallout. So basically, that's all the debris from the tornado falling from the sky. So even like if you're in the path of this debris fallout, it's best that you stay indoors, because that can be traveling at very fast speeds towards the ground, and you do not want to be hit by something like that. But yeah, again, repeating, a PDS tornado warning was issued. That is a particularly dangerous situation. There is still one in effect until 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We're expecting this to cross into the Atlantic eventually. I mean, they just issued a special marine warning. And you can see how long tracked it is, and I think that's the farthest out they can issue a special marine warning for. So they're expecting that to be very long tracked. So if you're boating out there, it's best that you avoid that area. I'm gonna go back on the radar here and show you what we just saw. This tornado touched down right around here. I'm gonna go and get my red square here, and then likely intensified very quickly as it approaches that subdivision down there, before crossing directly over it, and then crossing the highway there into some more houses, before seeming like it's starting to weaken out as it crosses the interstate and then approaches that small community. Right now there's still some debris with it. So there's a chance it might still be on the ground. Because keep in mind, this is being scanned at 2,500 feet in the air. I'm going to see who would want to... I'm going to see if I can get some of the coverage team to join us. Okay, now they just dropped the tornado, the tornado warning there. Would now be carried over to the special marine warning. So South Puente Vendra Beach, I would still remain in your shelters for a bit longer, because now this is being taken over by the special marine warning that's out there. Now we're gonna start to switch to a mode where we're trying to get information out of that tornado that has just happened. It's important to mention that there is also a 10% non-significant up in the Ohio Valley and part in the Midwest, but we're going to be mainly focused on this on one to the south here, where we do have a 5% chance of tornadoes. I'm going to quickly show you the debris that we had from someone else, because I couldn't share mine. That is the debris that we're seeing. Basically, we're taking a cross slice of the atmosphere as it goes up in height, and you can see that debris tracker displayed there, and you can see where all those green and blues are at. That forms kind of the shape here, and you can see that's where all the debris is being traveled and lofted up into the atmosphere. And as you can see, that is being lofted up to 10,000 feet in the air. If you can use that as a way to take a guess on how strong a tornado could be, as well as hold up real quick. I'll be right back in just a second. Alrighty, we're back. Right now we're gonna see if we can get any information out there, but right now that probably won't happen for at least 10 to 20 minutes, as this tornado has only just occurred. You can see how there's still debris fallout occurring, and now it looks like some of that debris is falling into the ocean. Which is pretty interesting. And apparently we were unlisted for all of that. So hold up, I'm going to need to fix that real quick. Let me go ahead and get this sorted out real quick. Alrighty, we should be live now. Let me go ahead and get this, alright, I get that. And again, you can see the insane amount of debris fallout, which is pretty sad to see, because that is likely pieces of people's homes that are falling to the ocean right now. Apart from this, apart from the tornado that we just had, we do have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings down to the south, including one that includes the Tampa metro area. One of them includes a tornado possible tag on it, and that will be the one in Tampa. So as you can see, a very large, let me switch this to reflectivity. You can see a very large swath of thunderstorms there, moving onshore, that will pose a severe thunderstorm threat and even a tornado threat. As models have been showing that the line that we're going to see is going to be broken up, which is more favorable for tornadoes instead of just a straight line. We also got a considerable severe thunderstorm warning for 70-mile-per-hour winds for Summerfield, Belleville, and pretty much all of southeastern Marion County. I'm gonna get the counties here to make sure. But it says down there that it is. Yep, pretty much. So yeah, the storm that produced the tornado is now offshore and could now pose threats for water spouts. There is still debris fallout occurring with it, in which all that area in blue is debris that could have traveled all the way back. Can't go all the way back anymore, but it could have been traveled. It could have traveled all the way back from over here. We're gonna check and see if we got any updates. We are trying to see. So yeah, still there's no damage photos yet. But yeah, as soon as we get those, we'll share them if we have permission to. Now we got a new tornado warning in effect for this will be north of Tampa. We go and share this. Yeah, you can see immediately that is clear as day rotation over here. That is going to be moving onshore. It's not onshore just yet, but they're expecting it to. So they issued that tornado warning. This will be moving into Jays Mine Estates and Bayonet Point. So you need to seek shelter if you're in this polygon. The rotation is not onshore yet, but soon it will be. Unfortunately, those two areas look like they're very populated, so you need to seek shelter immediately. And you could be dealing with another dangerous event here. It's important to mention that this is not the main showcase of today's event. It's going to be mainly in the Midwest. I don't know if we're going to be live for that, but I'm going to say that this is not the main focus of today's event, which is already pretty concerning because we already had a possible strong tornado and now another tornado that's moving onshore. Right now, we're going to get a scanner set up that only I can listen to, so that way we can get more information. Alrighty, so unfortunately we cannot get a scanner out there because it's unavailable, so we won't be able to, so it's going to be an issue getting information on that front. So we're going to have to wait a bit longer. But right now our attention shifts to this other tornado that's going to be moving onshore here in the next few minutes. Trying to look at something here. Alrighty. So again, we're going to be tracking this. We're going to see what the next update shows, if it shows the next update. Alrighty. So now you can kind of see what appears to be a hook trying to form here. That's like an embedded hook on the storm here, which suggests rotation, which we can clearly see on velocity here as this as it begins to move onshore here, probably within like 5 minutes or so. Less than 5 minutes, probably way less than that. I'm gonna see a velocity updates here. Alrighty. So where that red square is, that is where the rotation. Let me correct it real quick. That is where the rotation is, and based off what we're seeing here, there's like a little drop into like the oranges with a red wrapped around it. That likely means that the tornado is rain wrapped, so you will not be able to see it. And by the time you are able to see it, will be too late to get the cover. So yeah, don't try seeing this tornado. Seek shelter immediately, because this tornado is very likely rain wrapped. We're gonna go ahead and see if we got any new updates out of that tornado that occurred. Alrighty, there's no information yet. Probably won't be new information for a while. But again, right now our focus has shifted to this new tornado warning of a tornado that will be moving onshore onto a very populated area. Our first damage report came in of houses damaged and roofs ripped off houses near South Point St. Vendry Beach. So yeah, we'll go ahead and give you up-to-date information on that current situation out there. But right now we're going to be tracking this tornado. We're just waiting for the next update to see if it's gone any stronger or weaker or just about the same. So yeah, that's what we're waiting on right now. Really also important to mention is that there is also this large severe thunderstorm warning from pretty much St. Petersburg all the way up to here. Again, this is for 60 mile per hour wind gusts and a tornado possible. Which, speaking of which, another tornado warning has been issued over here in Clearwater. So basically, what we're dealing with right now is all these storms here. They're producing water spouts moving onshore. and now poses threats for tornadoes. So now we have another tornado warning down to the south for clear water. This is in effect until 12:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. And that will be our rotation. I'm assuming that will be where our rotation would be, right along here. I'm gonna go ahead and change some stuff around. Doing our headline here. Oh, I accidentally changed it. Actually changed it to OBS for a second. I'm gonna go with that. Alrighty, we're gonna go ahead and check radar now. But yeah, right now the rotation did move onshore. This is gonna be approaching on Bayonet Point and just north of Jasmine Estates. No signs of debris in the air, but that could change as this approaches on these two cities here. We're also tracking this new rotation down to the south. That'll be moving onshore towards Clearwater. And again, that is a very populated area, unfortunately. We also got a severe thunderstorm warning all the way back up here. That is going to be in effect until 12:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And this will be 60 mile per hour wind gusts and no hail. Alright, so right now, that rotation is basically on top of Bayonet Point right now. No signs of debris yet, which is a good sign. Hopefully it makes it through this area here without being on the ground. And for this one up here, you can see that hook over here as this begins to go onshore directly for downtown Clearwater. And also we've got a bit of a point of interest down to the south, basically on top of Indian Shores. So that's also something to watch here. And now I'm going to be waiting for the next update here. In the meantime, we're going to see what we have out of that strong tornado. Reports of confirmed damage in the trail mark area of World Golf Village, Florida. That is one of the reports that just came through. And that same tornado is the reason why we went with an emergency stream. And now, since that's ended, I'm gonna go ahead and rename the stream really quick. Alrighty, there we go. Alrighty, so for the rotation up here, it seems to have gone a lot more broader, which is good. This is now seems to be leaving Bayonet Point. No debris, which is good, so it's very likely that tornado did not touch down over Bayonet Point. However, you should still seek shelter regardless, as it could always re-intensify. But right now, it seems like the rotation over here seems to be weakening significantly. And down here, we are tracking two areas of interest here, including confirmed rotation up here. That has now just moved onshore. Although the velocity on that seems very weak, but that could always re-intensify. And this will be moving right towards downtown Clearwater. We're still waiting for any updates from the tornado that has occurred earlier today. And again, some of these storms that are moving onshore, this is where we're going to have our main tornado threat in Florida. And then later in the day, and I don't know if we're going to be live for it, but later in the day, we're also going to be watching the Midwest for a tornado, another tornado threat right there. The SBC does highlight a lot of uncertainty with that, but that is still something to watch. Right now we are tracking this right here. You can see where it begins to hook over here as it approaches Clearwater. And we're just waiting for velocity to update here because right now it is still behind because it didn't get updated. Alrighty, new scan shows the velocity seeming to have dissipated by a lot, but we'll still keep an eye on it here. Going up north, the velocity here seems to be extremely broad, so they might drop this tornado warning eventually, or they might extend it thinking it could recycle. But right now, that is not as strong as it once was. Over the ocean, as it approached Bayonet Point. And right now, we're just tracking this area here. Although the velocity seems to have died out by a lot. The main issue with that is that the velocity and the rotation on it seems very small. So it'll be very hard to tell. For sure. But this will be approaching on downtown Clearwater. Probably already passed it, but still something to watch. We also got this, something to mention real quick is that we do have this little notch forming right here as well, so that's something to keep an eye on as well. The things you always gotta look out for and stuff like this are these notches, because that could form into rotation. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning, but that just seems to be this is just a part of this storm. We're gonna check if there's any new information. Now we do have a photo of the tornado, and it looks to be that was very large. Again, we cannot share we cannot share it on the stream, but that was a very large tornado that occurred. And another photo that we just seen indicates, yeah, that was a wedge tornado. So it was wider as it is tall. So yeah, that is a very that was a possibly very strong tornado. They just they allowed the northern tornado warning to expire. Very unlikely they're gonna issue a new one unless the rotation there kicks back up. And right now we're just waiting to see here. You can still see that little hook there. But we're gonna have to wait for velocity to catch back up to see if it's trying to reform. There is also signs of roof damage as well from the same chaser that got the photo of the drone photo of a tornado. But again, we can't share that, so yeah, this is the new scan here, and it looks like the rotation seems to be gone. Still got my eye on this, but the rotation to the north seems to be gone. But yeah, I've had my eye on this interesting area to the south, just west of South High Point. Alrighty, we're just gonna see. Alright, so no new updates at this current time, apart from the fact there was a wedge tornado earlier today that we started the emergency stream for. So for a quick warning check, we have 2 special marine warnings, 3 severe thunderstorm warnings, and 1 tornado warning. Which this 1 tornado, actually, that reminds me to update this real quick. Yeah, we're now down to 1 tornado warning. So we're going to keep our eye on this tornado warning here as we try to provide to you updates from the wedge tornado that's occurred earlier. No updates at this current time. Let's go ahead and see if we can get rotation on the airport radar, see if it shows anything. No, it doesn't. Just wanted to quickly check that. But you can start to see, with this area I've been watching, you can start to see a little bit of a hook echo now with that. See, that's something to definitely keep an eye on. Going up on upper levels, it also seems like there is actual possible rotation on it. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but we'll keep an eye on it. And again, we can't share it, but that was the tornado warning that we had near South Puente Vendra Beach. Yeah, that was a wedge tornado, which is very rare in the state of Florida. Right now we're just waiting for the next update here on the radar. I might as well take this time to quickly explain something that we've been watching. That is about. Hold up. Yeah. So basically, there's gonna be something we're gonna be watching until April 15th. Let me go ahead and just get this pulled up into its own separate window. Alrighty. So yeah, this is something that they're going to be watching for a while. This is a 30% chance for severe weather, or basically some people call it enhanced, but it's not really. But this is but this includes southern Kansas, most of Oklahoma, and northern Texas. Models have been painting a pretty grim picture with it, and the SPC has also highlighted the chance for, let me find it here, for strong supercells, right here. See, that is something that we're going to be watching, and there's also another risk the day after that across parts in the Midwest and South. But yeah, this is something we're gonna be keeping a close eye on as we get closer and closer to April 15th. All right, I think the radar should have updated in that amount of time, and they actually dropped that tornado warning. And looking at velocity, it looks like that thing I was looking at dissipated. So we are now down to 0 tornado warnings. So now our main focus, hold up real quick. Alright, so now our main focus will be shifting for a minute to the aftermath. Hold up. So our main focus will shift to the aftermath of that wedge tornado that occurred earlier today. About basically I think over an hour ago. But yeah, we're gonna be mainly focused in terms of future severe weather on these storms that will be moving onshore and could pose a threat for waterspout tornadoes that move onshore. And then later today, we probably won't be live for it, but there's going to be more severe weather in the Midwest, including an uncertain potential for tornadoes. The SPC again does highlight a lot of uncertainty with the northern mode. Whoa. Okay, so 2 tornado warnings just popped up. They're all for the same storm here. The reason why we had 2 of them pop up instead of 1 is because this is different weather forecasting offices. And the thing is that they have a border and they can't issue any warnings outside of their area of coverage. So yeah, so these 2 tornado warnings, they're a part of the same rotation here. But yeah, that is a tornado warning in effect until, let me check the southern one, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and for the northern one, the 1:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, moving northeast at 55. But you can see your area of rotation here. This is kind of a bit of a radar dead zone, but it's still good enough. But you can see where your rotation would be with the blues and reds. This will be approaching Seaville. This is currently over the lake, but will eventually go onshore, and eventually will go through northern Seaville before remaining over pretty rural areas until it approaches just south of this community here. But if it's more longer tracked, then it will eventually approach southern Palm Coast. So if you're in that area, you need to seek shelter immediately. If you're anywhere in this tornado warning, you need to seek shelter now. Palm Coast, mainly southern Palm Coast, you're not in the warning yet, but I will keep an eye on it just in case if it's more on the longer track side of things. Yeah, right now we do have this new tornado warning. I'm just gonna call it 1 tornado warning because because this is supposed to be for the same storm. But yeah, currently this will be in effect till 1:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and we're gonna keep an eye on that there. Right now, we're gonna see if we got any other updates. We're gonna wait for an update here. But you can see that the rotation here has gotten a lot more tighter, which is concerning. Again, this would be approaching northern Seaville. No, I mean, there's not really signs of debris yet. But we're gonna keep an eye on that because this could produce a tornado here. So yeah, we're gonna go back and forth between the debris tracker pretty often. The thing I just pulled up there for a second was basically kind of velocity in a way. So yeah, we're looking for an update. If you're in Seaville, you need to seek shelter immediately as a tornado will be bearing down on you shortly. And any communities ahead of it should also seek shelter now. So yeah, right now we're just waiting for an update to see where we could go from there. But right now you need to seek shelter immediately if you are in Seaville. Okay, just notice reflectivity updated. We also had a funnel cloud report with the rotation that was over Spring Hill, but that tornado has now been long gone. But I just wanted to point that out. So yeah, now it's crossed the highway there into Seaville. No signs of debris in the air, but still you should seek shelter immediately. So yeah, again, this warning will be in effect until 1:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the northern one. And for the one over Seaville, that will be in effect until 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. Alrighty, we're just trying to see if we got any updates. Okay, we don't. Okay, so now the rotation. Okay, actually, we got a new tornado warning we're going to quickly take a look at. This will be northwest from downtown Tampa. And yeah, that'll be your rotation right there. This will be approaching on Town and Country, West Park, Carrollwood Village, Carrollwood, and Egypt Lake. So you need to seek shelter immediately as a tornado warning has been issued. This will be in effect until 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and it's moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. Going back up north for a second. Currently downloading the new data here, but yeah, you can see rotation here. It's gotten a bit more broader, but it's still something to keep a heavy eye on. No signs of debris either yet. So yeah, right now we're still keeping our eye on. We got 3 tornado warnings, 2 of them up here, 1 of them down in Tampa that was just issued moments ago. We do have video now. That I'll share. Alrighty, so I'm going to share this video here because this is from a resident. So that means I probably do have permission to share it. So that is the wedge tornado that we seen earlier. I'm going to turn that down a bit. But yeah, that is the tornado that we seen earlier. And again, that is a wedge tornado, so that means it is wider as it is tall. We do not have any damage photos yet, but that will likely change as time goes on. And we're past the 1 hour mark. I said I was gonna stop streaming after 1 hour, but due to the tornado threat that's ongoing, I'll stay streaming for a bit longer. Surprisingly, oh, I was gonna say that I was shocked there was no tornado watches, but there is a tornado watch. Still no tornado damage yet. We're just waiting for the next scan here. Actually, it just came in. Yeah, the rotation seems to be weakening a lot now, so hopefully it completely dies out. Alrighty, sorry for the silence there. I was trying to see if we can get any new updates. But, okay. Alrighty. Okay, so we got a potentially dangerous situation ongoing. tornado observed. This is for weather spotters confirmed water spouts moving onshore. That is. So yeah, that is something that is something that we've been calling out, is that the potential for these water spouts to move onshore into onto land. So so this will be in effect until 1:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. But yeah, that is warnings because of a water spout moving onshore. Even though velocity is not showing much, because of that kind of report, it is still advised that you seek shelter immediately if you're in West Park, Carrollwood, and Temple Terrace, or any area in between there, because it is a very populated area. Going back up north for a second, they dropped the tornado warning for Seaville, so Seaville, you are in the clear. You might still have some thunderstorms throughout the day, but for right now, the tornado warning you are in has been dropped, and therefore you are in the clear. But now our focus shifts to Palm Coast, Bunnell, and Bunnell. So if you're in those areas, you need to seek shelter immediately. Rotation seems fairly broad at the moment, but that could change. They've also dropped the tornado warning that was in effect for Town and Country and Carrollwood Village, so you're in the clear if you're in those two areas. I was actually showing that. So right now we are now down to 2 tornado warnings. Infinite tabs. Yeah, I have an issue with that. Not even the worst of it. But yeah, back on topic. Still tracking that tornado. I think this is where it would be here. The velocity is being annoying right now. It can't really give us much of a good view on where the tornado could be. But if I had to guess, it will probably be somewhere right here, where that hook is present. Alright, let's see if we can get any updates out there. Still trying to see if we can get anything out of that, see if we can get any damage. Alright, no updates on that front, so we're going to go back to the storm up here where they have issued a severe thunderstorm warning. They normally issue that when they're about to drop a tornado warning. So they might be dropping this tornado warning fairly soon. Right now this is listed as considerable for 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts and possible tornado. In fact, in the hazard it says possible tornado on it too. So this will be in effect until 1:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So yeah, it looks like they're gonna be dropping that tornado warning that is in effect for Bunnell here in just a minute. But they still list a possible tornado. So you should still seek shelter and remain indoors, as this storm will be moving into Palm Coast and areas south. Current time is 12:04 p.m. Central Time, April 11th, and we're currently tracking a severe weather threat starting in Florida, and then it will evolve into the Midwest later today. But again, I don't know if we're going to be live for that. But yeah, right now we also have a large severe thunderstorm warning. Tornado possible and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts from Coleman all the way down to basically the entirety of the eastern Tampa area, including downtown Tampa. And that will be in effect until, let's see here, 1:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. They're probably going to be extending that with at least a tornado possible tag on it from the amount of tornadoes that we've been having over here. And they've actually just gone ahead and dropped both warnings. So now we're back down to 0. Alrighty, and this is probably where I'm going to end the stream here. There's still going to be a tornado threat. Keep that in mind. But I need to go here. And there's no one here to join to take over. So I'm going to end the stream here. There will still be a tornado threat in Florida throughout today, and then eventually in the Midwest. If we need to, if unavailable by then, we can always go back on the air. But for right now, this concludes the emergency stream. Stay safe and stay weather aware.